Alright, it's time for the Fantasy Blast for Week 4. I'm all ready to go. Got some Megadeth playing here. Get you guys rocking and rolling. I'm trying to get out of here as quick as I can. Sorry, Dave, I gotta shut you off. Here we go. Alright, so the Rams made a trade for a left tackle, Eugene Monroe. The Ravens made a trade for left tackle, Eugene Monroe. What does that tell you? The Ravens are committed to the running game. Don't give up on Ray Rice quite yet. Obviously, fantasy owners that have drafted him high, you're not going to give up on him. I hope you don't give up on him because he's a damn good running back. But, yeah, that's an encouraging sign to Ray Rice owners that they just went and traded for a very good left tackle. So, also, moving also into the AFC, we got Jake Locker. He's out with a hip injury. It's not like nasty Bo Jackson hip injury bad, but it's like 4 weeks hip injury. So you're going to see a lot of limited production, a lot of bad offensive, failure. Not failure, but I want to say, you're not going to see what's been going on with the Titans that's been going on in the last couple weeks. Nate Washington's definitely going to get downgraded. Anybody that went out, made a play for Nate Washington, maybe not dump him quite yet, but definitely don't start him. Chris Johnson, don't give up on him yet. I know everybody drafted him high. This Locker injury is going to mean they're going to stick to the run. That means one thing. They will stay with Chris Johnson. So stick with Chris Johnson. Start Chris Johnson. Do not give up on CJ2K. An encouraging little tidbit I found. Kenny Britt's probably going to get traded because he's just pissing everybody off with the Titans. So maybe some of those targets from Nate Washington could go to Kenny Britt. So snap up Kenny Britt if you get a chance. Maybe give him a chance in a start in a flex or a double flex league, in a PPR league possibly. So Kenny Britt's a possibility. But don't give up on CJ2K. Rams, Daryl Richardson is out with an injury. He said this on Twitter, so Daryl Richardson is out. He's not playing. That whole Rams backfield is a nightmare. Don't make a chance on any of it. Pete has no experience in the NFL, and he is their next capable running back. So, yeah, if you've got Daryl Richardson, just simply don't start him. This gives upgrades to Tavon Austin because really they don't really have a lot in the backfield. They do run a spread offense. Chances are Tavon Austin will get some crazy ass reverse going out of the backfield, and you could get a big blowout play out of Tavon. So I would start Tavon Austin and Jared Cook. They're going up against the Jaguars this week, by the way. The Rams are. So Jared Cook, start him. Jared Cook's going to make good plays against the Jaguars because the Jaguars are the best high school team in the NFL. Gronk or Bennett. This is something I was talking with a friend. You got Martellus Bennett, kind of an in-between tight end, kind of a rubber tight end. You don't know if you want to play him or not for the Bears. Then you got Gronkowski, who may or may not be coming back. He kind of sounds like he's going to be coming back. If it was me, with the lack of targets offensively still in the wide receiver position for the New England Patriots, I'm going to grab Gronkowski. Aaron Hernandez is in jail, and I'm going to grab Gronkowski. So I would grab him up, pick him up, wait to start. That's what I'm going to say with Rob Gronkowski. Pick him up and wait to start. If you've drafted him and hung on to him this long, good for you. But unless you got 2 tight ends or a 2 tight end double flex situation going on your team, I wouldn't start him quite yet because it could take him a little while to get going. Bennett's another situation with Martellus. You've got the Bears who are starting to find Alshon Jeffrey to be their solid number 2 receiver. So that's going to take targets away from Martellus Bennett. So Martellus Bennett's going to get a downgrade here. He's not quite in cut territory, but he's definitely in bench territory. I'm going to bench Martellus Bennett. All right, moving to the Carolina Panthers, who are taking on the Arizona Cardinals this week. D'Angelo Williams has been kind of a fantasy blow-up. And it's been nice. See a guy like him, many years in the league, to kind of come back. It's basically because Jonathan Stewart's still getting back from ankle surgery. What I've been seeing is that Stewart is recovering very nicely from that ankle surgery. He should see some carries this week, actually, which is crazy. So you might see a handful of carries this week. He's not going to start. He's not going to get any featured position, by the way. But I would just keep an eye on Jonathan Stewart this week if you are an owner of D'Angelo Williams. If you own D'Angelo Williams, you want to see if Jonathan Stewart does well with his limited ability. If he is cutting, making moves, getting on those outside off tackle, even more five hole kind of stuff, getting way outside, making nice runs. D'Angelo Williams is going to get a very quick downgrade this week coming up. If not, if you don't see much on Jonathan Stewart, good news if you're a D'Angelo Williams owner, because it means Stewart has a few more weeks to upgrade from that surgery. All in all, bad news if you're a Williams owner. Cardinals have given up an average of 75 yards rushing this week overall in the season, and I just don't see Williams blowing up that much against the Cardinals. If anything else, the Panthers might just simply go away from their interior running game, their counter running game, whatever they use with Williams, and just let Cam Newton run the offense, get the ball to a tight end here and there. They are going up against two very good corners in the LSU Twins, Tyrann Mathieu and Patrick Peterson. However, I don't see that taking away from the fact that the Cardinals are very good against the run. So, if you have D'Angelo Williams and you're really strapped for a flex and you have nothing else in the flex, start him. Because, he's still good. He's still going to get you maybe 8 to 10 points. But if you got another option at the flex, take advantage of that. Take a chance on that. If you got a guy like Josh Gordon, for example, absolutely start him. But yeah, just so everybody knows, if you have D'Angelo Williams, just be a little skeptical this week going into the start phase of your lineups, because he is facing a pretty good run defense. And pay attention to Jonathan Stewart. Okay, moving on from that, from the start him and sit him. That's kind of what I was going over there, is start him and sit him. That's kind of how I do it. Pickups. I want to go over some pickups quick. Brian Hoyer from the Cleveland Browns. If you've been living under a rock for the last couple weeks in the NFL, you haven't heard of Brian Hoyer. But if you haven't, you probably have. So I'd go grab him. I really like this guy. He studied under Tom Brady and New England Patriots, so he knows how to manage a game. He knows how to play conservative. He knows how to play smart. He has done a very good job getting open receivers in the end zone. He's great in the red zone. He's awesome in the red zone. Jordan Cameron has done really well with Brian Hoyer. And really, the main reason I want to say Brian Hoyer has done well is because, frankly, a lot of teams just don't have tape on this guy. He's been in the league for a while, but he's been in the league long enough where college tape is meaningless, and there's just not much tape. So if you're struggling at the quarterback position, if you have a major question mark at the quarterback position, let's say you got Matt Ryan. Let's say you got Joe Flacco. Let's say you got a guy that just really isn't getting you where you need to be. Pick up Brian Hoyer. He's definitely a guy you can grab, and I'd start him. I'd start him against the Bills this week, tomorrow, actually. I'd start him against the Bills on Thursday night, because he's coming out, he's doing well. The Bills' defense will likely struggle against what the Browns are bringing, and I do not see the Bills having a whole lot of success against the Browns' defense. The Browns' defense is doing great. Joe Hayden is going to shut down Stevie Jackson. Browns have a good run defense. That's going to set up the offense well. So I would definitely go grab Brian Hoyer and maybe start him. That's what I'm going to say about Hoyer. LeGarrette Blount's another guy I'd go get. He had like 7 carries for 65, 70 yards against the Falcons. Plus that really, really nice breakout run that he had late in the game. It kind of broke the game open with a touchdown. LeGarrette's a guy that has been on and off since his days in Oregon. He was a good guy with Tampa Bay, just didn't fit the system that they wanted to run. They went and grabbed Doug Martin. They let go of LeGarrette. Now he's with the Patriots, and the Patriots are a team that just need a guy that can bang. Just need a guy that can come in on first and second down and bang that defense, make that defense hurt, come in on goal line situations, which is definitely a situation they do not have an answer for. Stephen Ridley, I don't see him as a goal line guy. And definitely not Brandon Bolden. Brandon Bolden has too many fumble problems to be a goal line guy. So, LeGarrette Blount, go get him. I like LeGarrette Blount a lot. He's going to get a lot of carries going forward. As well as go get Kenbrell Tompkins. He seems to be the best target for Tom Brady in that offense. Go get Eddie Lacy. He's starting this week. And go start him. Drops for this week. I'm going to run it through really quick. I got about 30 seconds. Drop Roddy White. Roddy White looked terrible against the Falcons. Drop Kevin Rudolph. Kevin Rudolph's production will drop as long as Greg Jennings and the rest of that receiving core does well with Matt Castle. Drop James Starks for the same reason Eddie Lacy is starting Jermichael Finley. Jermichael Finley will likely be out for a couple weeks with a concussion. Drop Jermichael Finley. Drop Malcolm Floyd, ACL injury, and drop Julian Edelman. He's not consistent. Thanks, guys, for watching. It's the Fantasy Blast with Lucas Gosser. That's me. Tune in later. I'm going to say peace out. I'm going to bed.